Security updates. Every distribution of Linux has a way of getting security updates installed. I'm going to walk through the steps of getting security updates installed on Almalinux, and these steps will also work on Rockylinux and Redhat. What we're going to do is we're going to look at some of the options for finding out what security updates are available. Almalinux keeps a list of security updates that are available, and they prefix them with a ALSA and then a number, which is usually the year, and then another number. The ALSA indicates a security update. What's that? The ALBA indicates it's some type of bug fix. Now, I haven't had time to look up this ALEA, but again, it's just some type of security fix. When we go and we look at the Redhat options for listing the security updates, they have a similar method, except they prefix them with RHSA, and that's just a Redhat security advisory. And they give you the severity, and they tell you what products are affected as well. And you get a list here, and as you can see, there's already 1,000 available for Redhat. And you're looking at Rockylinux. I had to go to the actual change log for Rockylinux, and they list the packages that are updated, and it lists the associated CVEs. The CVEs are common vulnerabilities and exposures that are found. I did not see the SA type listings for Rockylinux. If I find it, I'll put it in the notes. So basically what we have here, we're on an Almalinux system. If we want to see what updates are available, let me copy the command over here so I don't have to retype it several times. The command is dnf-automatic list -- security. And that's just going to give you a list of all the security updates that are available on this system. And it's only looking for packages that are currently installed on the systems that have a security update available. Right, my sudo password. And this gives me a listing of the security updates that are available. And you can see for Almalinux, they start with the ALSA, and then they have a number. And you can see there are some that are important, some that are moderate. They will have some that are critical, and they will have some that are low. Let me see what we got. We got critical, important, moderate, and low are the options that are there. Now you can take this same command that you ran on Almalinux and go to a Rockylinux system. And you get the same listing. You get the security updates that are available for the packages that are installed on this system. And again, they have their own format for referencing those security updates. Same thing with the Redhat box. The Redhat box has a few more in there. But again, this is the actual advisory, and these are the packages that are involved with those advisories. Now, if you wanted to, you could do a dnf update -- security, and that would update all the packages that have a security update available. So these kernel packages, this OpenSSL and the Python 3, that would update everything on the system. And that works across all the different versions, the Alma, the Rocky, and the Red Hat. Show you on Rocky. The same thing. It goes and it grabs these advisories and shows you what packages need to be updated. Now, I'm not going to do it right now. I'm just showing how it's done. I think I already did it on Red Hat, but there's the same thing again. Now, that's if you wanted to update all of them. But let's say you have a list of security packages here, and let's say one of them is critical, and you only want to install that one individual package. We're going to use this OpenSSL one, for example. We could take this name here, this which references the security advisory, and we can do a sudo dnf update, and the command is -- advisory. So you could do a dnf update and tell it you want to pull the advisory with this name. Now, this command works across Alma, Rocky, and Red Hat, but remember that the advisory name is going to be different on each one. So if I do a dnf update for that one particular advisory, it'll go out and it'll download just those files that I need. So I'll do yes. And it'll go through and it will download and install the updated package. So when I go back and I do a list for just the security packages, you see that that OpenSSL package is no longer listed there. But if you wanted to see what security updates are installed on the system, let me copy this command, and I will put all these commands in the notes. You do an updateinfo list and you add the -- all at the end, that'll show you all the security updates plus the ones that you have installed on this system. The I out to the end represents that the security updates is installed. So you can see you've got a bunch of installed updates. You've got a few gaps here where you don't have an update. I like this 0188. Do no on that. Well, we could do the same thing on the Rocky for that that OpenSSL. And it was dnf. No, update -- advisory. And remember, the advisory name changes on the distribution, so you'll put that name and it will install just the packages related to that advisory. we'll go look at I didn't want to do update. I wanted to look at the list. There's the list. This is on the Red Hat box. And again, there's the OpenSSL. So we want to install this advisory and none of the others. So we'll do a for OpenSSL, it's this one right here. We'll say yes. And this is good for doing individual advisories. For example, if you wanted to test the actual update before you push it out to your production servers, you can just install the individual advisory and then test it, make sure it works, and then you can update your production systems. So if I go back and do a list on that security, you'll see that the OpenSSL is no longer listed. But if I add the -- all at the end, I would have to scroll up and find the OpenSSL, which I don't see yet, because this is Red Hat with all these. Going to assume they're in an alphabetical order. Yeah, there it is right there, the 5226 that I just installed. The I in the left-hand corner represents installed. So that's how you can do an upgrade for all advisories or for individual advisories. But you will have some occasions where you won't get the advisory number. You'll get the CVE number. Again, the CVE is the common vulnerability and exposure. So once you have the CVE number, you can also search for that CVE on the system. For example, on January the 21st, there was a CVE 2022-185 that was released, and it was a kernel update that had to be applied. You can also search to see if that CVE is available on your system as well. The difference is you're going to do a sudo dnf-automatic. You're going to do a list. And what is it? It is -- CVE. And then the name of the CVE. I'm going to try to copy that again. All right, so for this CVE, Almalinux references it through their own security advisory, and their security advisory is 2022-0188. Now, there could be multiple advisories listed here for this one CVE, but you can still install all the updates by referencing the CVE instead of each individual security advisory. And you do that by just doing a DNF update TE with a -- CVE and then reference the CVE number. So if this critical CVE comes out, you have to make sure that your repository has the update available. You have to Most times DNF will do it for you, but sometimes you'll have to do a DNF make cache to have it update the list of packages that are available. But if you do this DNF update with the CVE number, it will find all the security advisories that are related to that CVE and suggest that you install them. So when you hit enter there, it goes out and finds the individual ones, and you have to hit yes. And since this particular one is a kernel update, you would have to reboot. Unless you're using some of the tools that let you install the kernel and not reboot. I'm not doing that, so I'd have to reboot my system. That's on Almalinux. On Rocky, if I do the same thing, I go look for that CVE. See, it has a different number altogether. It has a 22176, but some of the packages are the same. So to do it on Rocky, I would just do an update referencing the CVE. The CVE will pull in the security advisories that I need and suggest that I install them. And those are all listed here. Again, it's a kernel update here, so I would have to reboot on my systems. I'm going to reboot Alma. I'm going to reboot Rocky when it's done. Okay, I'll do the same thing on the Red Hat box, looking for that CVE. And it comes back with the 22188, which is similar to the Almalinux on the 188. But again, it's the same packages listed here. So I want to update it on the Red Hat. And I'm just telling it to look for the CVE. Rocky is taking a while to update. All right, I got a verification code. I've got two-factor set up on that Almalinux box. Let me find the code here. Unlock here. I need to go to my personal stuff. Which one is this? Because I've got two Almas listed here. Let's try this one. And it is that one. So it says it's gonna go from 12.2. Oh, it says it's going to upgrade to 348.12.2, which is what it did, which is listed here. All right, when I go to Rocky, so I can go ahead and reboot. Rocky's rebooting. Red Hat is still installing. And you notice that the kernel version is the same across all of them, Alma, Rocky, and Red Hat. That is rebooted with that 12.2 EL85. Going to reboot the Red Hat box. Then I'll reconnect to it. You see we've got that 12.2 EL 8.5. So that's assuming you've got a CVE that's critical. You need to install it right away, but you don't want to install the other updates that are listed on the system. So that's how you install security updates on Almalinux, Rockylinux, and Redhat. They're all using RPMs, so you can use the dnf command to do the actual installs. I was looking at doing a manual installation and not the automatic installations. There are ways to install all of your updates automatically, but I don't do it that way. I do manual install on a test box, and then I push it out to my other servers. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. We are at about, I believe it was 74 subscribers. We could use a lot more.